Wow. Don't go without me. Not yet. Let me just... Right. Let's have a look. So, very bearish. Wanted to wait for this 20 minutes. No. Why is it not doing that? Hey everyone, hope you're well. Let us know how you're getting on. Oh, that's what I've done. Okay. So we're waiting for our 20 minutes for our bearish highs. You can see here. In fact, let's have a look with a... Yeah, we'll keep to electronic. Hope everyone's well. Going to be doing some reviews and live trading. I am currently tracking NQ. Gold's looking good. Like we can pump, but I am thinking about getting in short soon on NQ. Maybe we go fill this gap. Ideally, we want to see. So we put in this high in the first 10 minutes. So there's our 58%. So we could do something like this. Oh, I've gone wrong. It's not much risk. Although, really want to see 20-minute mark kick in. So 20 minutes is there. Obviously, by that point, we are, 70% either the high or lows in for the hour. We'll get a confirmation when this low's taken or this high's taken soon. Obviously, this has failed yet to take this high. So we pull back, come back up, not taking this high, starting to come down. We are 16 minutes in. Just wondering whether we might just wick up, close back below that before we get to our 20 minutes. Our dynamic TP hasn't changed yet either. So obviously we've come down and we are blew back up. It is nice and corrective. But yeah, I want to see that. Look, if you think here, this was the trade before. when we took this low, it gives that confirmation of the high. Just seeing if we could come down further. Yeah, here we go. So tap back in. Obviously, this has come up, come back in. So obviously, we're expecting this now to potentially see whether it can fail. This is like your order flow. How is everyone anyway? We all okay? Trying to concentrate as well as trade live. I've got all my accounts are not on TradingView, so I quickly set up an account today. So I still don't know quite yet what I'm doing. Ooh, is that different? Usually use a sell stop when I'm taking lows to get taken in. Who's this fresh guy? Right, Twist. Yeah, no hats today, mate. Trying to trim. Caught me out. Amazing. It looks good, Gil. Right, so we're on our 19th minute candle now. So let's see. If we come and take this high, then probability does not go in our favor. So sit on our hands. So you can see here, we haven't got a great, we've got a 62% probability of closing bearish, and it's against the higher time frame. So it's not particularly the high probability that I like to take. Like this one here was the previous candle. That was about 81%. So it was a nice high probability trade. When I was just looking at this low, obviously when we came down here, probability was that we would take that low in this segment. You can see there, good 50% probability. Right, so we got our 20 minutes up now, right? So if we're going to go bearish, now sometimes we might just put it in the first couple of minutes, but basically we would expect that we are at the high. Otherwise, timing's not quite right. I don't know how to use this. Limit orders are above, stop orders are below. Right, okay, I remember now. Why when I go on stop limit do I get 2? Look, I've got 2. What's that about? What are you for? Oh, is that my limit order where I want it? Nah, no, I don't know. God knows. There we go. So we've taken the high. So probability not on our side for that trade. So gold was looking good longs. Yeah, I was looking at it around here because obviously we've come above, transitioned, and then gone in. But we are 20 minutes up here as well. So we can see with gold, if we're going to go bullish, that right now, if this is going to close bullish, there is a high probability, so 50, 60, 73%, that this is our low for this hour. Obviously, this is our weekly Bitcoin prediction that we've been talking about as well. So you can see here with the weekly candle now printing that we've got this 96% probability that this week's going to close bullish. We've already had a nice push already. So yeah, that was it's a nice start that potentially we might get some, might be the kick on the way. YM is looking more bullish than NQ at the moment. Starting to bend around. Yes. Haven't taken the low. Here's the high for the hour for NQ for ES. So again, if we're going to go bullish, 60, 70, 75% probability that when we take that right now, if we're going to go bullish, obviously this is the low. There we go. So we can see there bullish lows, 60, 76%. So yeah, we're not shorting against probability. We will wait and see. So yeah, we failed. The only thing I'd say is when we've put this up in the first 2 minutes, like I said, sometimes we can just creep into that last sort of third segment with us failing to close above. It's quite interesting, but still, we're still blue anyway. Nothing's giving me anything to say apart from it being a potential cheap trade from here down. I haven't got. Sitting on these hands. How is everybody? All right? Good. You know the whole, I feel like, it looks like, yeah, I feel like. I know, right? And it's half term as well. So there's more people around. Oh, mate, go to Dubai. That'd be amazing. I don't know what the weather's like in Dubai. I bet it's fucking hot and sunny and nice. This is us British. We can't help but moan about the weather. Again, so order flow. Yeah. We're looking at kind of these levels. If you're an order flow trader, you know, it's part of your process on it. Yeah, while we're still breaking these, then you would say order flow is still potentially bullish is another way to look at it as well. Obviously for me, probabilities and my other Max Algo stuff is mostly what I use. So we're bullish. We're underneath, which is still bearish, but bullish. Obviously, we confirmed for the hour that right now, this hour, we're expecting this low to stick, right? Which gives me, obviously, if I'm looking to go short, I'm not looking yet. Let's look at ES. Oh, what was on here? So there goes ES. YM was already, as we saw, hadn't flipped, stayed bullish. It was a nice trade earlier on with CL. We remain bearish. Grab the lows and flip. Bullish now on CL until we see a cross on the zero. Goals look like it's struggling a bit. But right now, we are still expecting gold to remain bullish. We have a look at what the sessions are telling us. Let's have a look at what we've got for the session. I need to do... It's freezing. Cold here. Wet and cold. Typical British weather. Yeah, gold was looking a bit weak, but still kind of right now bullish on the overall outlook until we see a transition. We're still very strong bullish. Obviously, right now hourly format is bullish, so we haven't yet taken this high, but we have a 71% probability of closing bullish, right? So right now we're not really expecting to close below this low for the hour. So we would expect this to hold. So we're past our 20 minutes, so we're bullish. So we would say, again, what, 73% probability that this is our gold low. And as you can see, the decision not to take that trade because of probability played out for us. Might still reverse and come down, but just not yet in the profile that we use. So, for example, this is a bearish hour. There's our high, there's our low. Bearish high, there's our high, there's our low. Bullish hour, there's our low, there's our high, right? Bearish hour, we failed to put it in the last bit, but we get a reversal. But there's our high, there's our high, there's our low. So you can see how, like, the hourly profile, utilizing probability just helps when we're entering at the optimal time, when it's most likely going to be the high or low. Let's look at what we've got for NQ then. So let me just move that. Let's change that into regular. Okay, so what we're looking at now is I've changed it into regular trading hours here, right? So we've got our regular trading hours. I'm then going to put it on to 7 hours, which gives us our probability. So you can see now we're corrective bearish, which means this prediction is what it is to close bearish. So 26% probability of closing bearish for the New York session, which means that obviously there's a significantly higher probability of closing bullish on NQ today. So we'll see that flip potentially. We're seeing YM do the same, ES start to do the same. So let's put that on. So there is a 73% New York closes. Oh my God. This is bullish. Put this back to the hourly. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh God, what have I done? Where's it gone? Oh, to say. Fuck knows what I'll find you in a minute. Let's put it back to the hourly. And let's put it back to electronic. Where have you gone? Fuck, I'll have to write it again. Right, so 73% probability of closing. I wanted an anchored one anyway. For New York, not for the day. Our daily, same. It's daily's on an 80% probability of closing bullish. And again, this is just for helping with directional bias. We always look for the hourly to give us that in line. So again, look, no point, we're still bullish. We haven't yet switched bearish, or even on here. So right now, potentially is could be a trade on gold. And obviously, if you think about it, here's our low, here's our high. Could be a quick scalp to the high. We expect that, look, within the last, again, 50, 60, 70% of the highs were in the last 20 minutes. So if we're going to close bullish, we expect these highs to go. ES came above, came below. It's failed to go back above here. So if this turns and goes red, we could have a strong move down. Maybe we might have a bit of a zigzag day. But again, not yet confirmed anything. Euro USD. We had a nice transition here from bearish to bullish. And then obviously you can see the signals and the probabilities playing out nice. And that has continued to give us our biased. We haven't yet transitioned bearish, although we're sort of starting to level out. This is a nice pump. Oh, so obviously this is our expected low. So again, dependent on where we are, we still haven't yet. We're still blue, so still showing bullish. We have now taken out here. This is our previously hours high. Sorry, I'll use this. Here's our previously hours high. There's the low. Sorry, and then that's wrong. Here's our low. So we haven't yet taken the low of the previous hour. Obviously, we did that the previous hour. And here. So took the low, took the high. Obviously, looking at structure. Broke the low here. Coming back up. Flipped. Stayed bearish on the prediction. Time we got to here, we still have an 80% probability of going bearish. Down we come. And we are waiting. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? What are we trading? Is everyone trading NQ? Twist, what about yourself, mate? Cool. It's what we've got to do best, haven't we? Wait. It's such a shame. Like, what's up, Mark? Much. I was nearly in a short, and then we didn't get our alignment to take it. Wasn't super probable anyway. Let's go back to the hourly on here. Only a 62% probability of being bearish. Here's our daily. So 73% New York closes bullish, 80% daily closes bullish. So New York open was here. Obviously, time frames are a little bit off for the UK. UK time's down. Yeah, VIX is down a lot, just patiently waiting now. Yeah. That's right. For me, for bullish, I want to see this come above the zero line. Yeah, it was one of my confluences for the short. And we came below the zero line with the probability. Plus, we took that 20-minute low out. That was all good. Obviously, we know we've got the opening today. Still very early. Loads of trading time left. Segments are 10 minutes. So what it is this is an hour, and it's showing you a 10-minute segment, what the probability was if in a bullish hour and a bearish hour. And if I zoom in, so you see these grey lines. Try and make them a bit brighter. Don't like them too bright on the chart, but I'll just make that one a bit brighter. So you can see this grey line here, yeah? That marks 20 minutes. So that's basically segment 1 and segment 2. So that's my highest probability, right? So for example, if I'm expecting price to go down, then by the time I get to that point, I should be trading the high with a 70% probability. So remember, this is our low, which we expect to be still the low. Remember, we had that in from this point. So when we came down here, potential opportunity, obviously from a risk to reward point of view, we know we're going to take that high. Here, we could have obviously sniped an entry, retaken this high again, potentially. But obviously, again, there's a lot against that, other than the probability of the low. Not enough for me to take that trade, but it's just an example of like how you can use the data once you've got it. Like why we weren't jumping in when this was coming down was because it's not following with the high probability. And this is about, this isn't about people trading the way that I trade. my belief is that you have to find your own way of trading, like through all different stuff that you learn. So obviously, like the setups and there's ways that you can utilize the indicators for trading, and I give that of how I use it. But ultimately, it's more about a toolkit for traders to use with their own style. So whatever it is you trade, you've got this as a confluence to help. Even with prediction of the hourly candle, statistics of the data. Those two combined are a really strong confluence to add to your setup. So we can see there, obviously, that we come down, we retake this high, because obviously if we're expecting the hour to be bullish, then we can expect that high to be in the last 20 segments 58% of the time. So quite high probability. What we might see, it'll be interesting to see what the next hour does, because it's not super strong coming back up. So we've got 15 minutes left coming up. Like with gold, feel like obviously we expect this high to go. As mentioned, still correcting for this hour, but gold's got good potential to come and fill the whole of the gap. Fucking done it again. CL, like I said, we're bullish on CL until we see this come below. Even though we're transitioning as well, we're weak on the trend. So obviously we'd like to see if we see a transition, we're even more bullish on CL. I have just closed my ES tab. So ES has failed to come up yet. We have come over that zero line, just creeped over. Let me get clear. If bullish lows, segment 1 or 2, are each 30%, there is a 60% chance. Yep. After the 20 minutes, yeah. But obviously you can see that most of the data is weighted heavily to the first 10 minutes. So you can see within the first 10 minutes of a bullish candle, that 56% of the lows were already in. And that's based on 192 candles. So we can go up the time frame, so we can go up to the 5 minute. You can see that's now based on 911 candles. Statistics don't really change. That's one of the beauties. Get alert on ES. Starting to go weak. Bullish, bearish trend starting to weaken off. But we will wait until this changes. We remain bearish. We have now gone bullish by crossing over, but we haven't got everything aligning on ES. Q's a little bit more, still bearish. All right, so we've got our high. This is our open for the hour. So we have a 62% probability that we close below that level for the hour. obviously, which means we'd have to come all the way down and potentially take that low as well. Potentially take that low, be too close not to. And we've still got 13 minutes. Could happen. But right now, we've got two statistics against each other, right? We've got the data around the hourly, and we've got the statistical probability. Oh my God, Bitcoin was amazing yesterday. Absolutely amazing. I'm glad you caught a nice trade. It was a beautiful day on Bitcoin. Yesterday. Where was the transition? Fucking look at that. Just bullish all the way. Oh, hang on. Yes. There we go. Nice transition this morning as well. Remain bullish throughout. Some nice trades. I don't like the late trades. We want to keep. Strong bullish. So we've been bullish, 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 bullish. We've then gone into a corrective and then gone back into a sequence one. So we're in a continuation. Anyway, back to NQ. Yay. Yeah, so at this point, if you think about it from a, like laying it out, right? So statistically, there's more probability of this closing bullish. So, you can do things like set limit orders, try and catch some cheap trades and take the high once that high is done. Right? Because you're expecting that this low is going to stick, and then obviously you're expecting this high is going to go. And so obviously that's largely based on what. So you've got your statistical edge. That'll play out the majority of the time. There's lots of ways of utilizing the data. So we still stayed bullish. Remember, we flipped bullish here on the dynamic, and all through that we've maintained it. Yeah, no worries. I mean, obviously, as you use it more, especially like Trend AI, you can adjust the settings so that you're getting on the time frame that you're on, you're getting the transitions looking as clean as possible. But you can use it on any time frame. The 5 minute is absolutely fine. Like literally, we could sit on the 5 minute now and do the same thing. The only thing I might do is just adjust my weak threshold, bring it down a bit probably, just so we're not constantly. Yeah, just so you can see the transitions happening in the way that you want. That's all. Just want to see the nice transition periods where price is going. Obviously, that's just where the 1 minute can work out a bit nicer. So it's still looking very corrective for me. Obviously, like I like when we're bearish, I like to see us correcting up like this. But we need to see it obviously align with the data. Now, one of the things the hourly can do really nicely is that it's about, okay, this hour isn't ready yet. Cool. Perfect. So you already nailed it, mate. Exactly what you're doing. I am really glad that people are starting to use it like for their own way and to give their own confidence. I didn't really want it to be like pushing too much on. It's not a course or a mentorship. It's a toolkit for people to use, with obviously like guidance and what we find that we like to use it with. We should have the New York sessions next week coming out, the new indicator. So basically, it's going to break up your New York session into, I think it's 7 segments. And then it will show you, obviously, during New York, very much like the hour. It'll be just like this, but for New York session, you'll be able to look at where the majority of the lows and the highs are based on if New York's going to be bullish or bearish. And then obviously, like here, when we've done our prediction, we've got a 73% chance of a bullish New York. We know where we're expecting our low and where we're expecting our high. Same thing again. So ES is flirting with its live volume. So if you want to check it out, we've still got the 14-day trial on for Max Algo. Just head to maxalgo.io and you can take the 14-day free trial. And then obviously all the videos and the guidance are in there. If anyone's interested. Otherwise, we're still waiting on our trade. I'm normally on about this time, but because obviously it's not obvious, but because the UK's hours have shifted back, right now there's not the same time difference, so we're an hour closer to you guys. It's 3 hours now, is it, or 4 hours? I don't know, 3 hours. So normally New York would have only just opened 20 minutes ago. Yeah, everything's included. So there's not going to be any upgrades. Everything we release now will be included within the same pattern. Yeah, so everything basically what you've got right now is just the beginning. There's going to be tons of stuff. So my aim is to, obviously, the session one's going to come out, and then this is going to be done for hourly, 2 hourly, all the higher time frames, so that depending on what time frame you want to trade, that you can then yeah. I did the same thing. Only just I can't remember who reminded me. I was like, New York's opening soon, because otherwise I would have gone live round here. But anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, anything that comes out now is obviously all included. It's not going to be any upgrades. So yeah, so obviously I appreciate this is an hourly segment. We're going to break it up into a 2-hour segment, 4-hour, all the way up. Daily segments a little bit different. It's quite interesting. We'll see that. Obviously, we'll do a daily one as well, but obviously it depends on. I think the pairs will show very differently. So, for example, like New York has such an impact on NQ, as where with Euro, tend to see that London's got a lot more volume in. So when London kicks in, we tend to have a little bit more volume, but I mean, obviously not always, but so obviously you'd expect that you're more likely to get your highs and lows during London, but with ES on the daily profile, I'm interested to see, is it more likely to be during the New York session? All right, we got 4 minutes. So what we might see now is the next hour give us our bearish hour, because obviously this hour wasn't ready yet. I am still bearish. Yeah, I like it's a love-hate relationship for me with NQ and ES. I like ES just because obviously I like the bigger ticks. Just find it easier in the way that I look at it. It's where NQ, especially for like sizing and everything, NQ can be very different. But yeah, man. So you can see here, this is like combined with everything, but this is a big part of what I'm looking at, is that we are bearish, right? We've transitioned bearish. We've failed. We still haven't come above the 0 line yet. So, you know, this might be 73% close bullish, but I don't trade that blindly, right? It's the hour's got to match. There's got to be confluence to be going, I'm just going long. One more 2 minutes. This is our low. This is our open. I mean, literally. It's going to close in there. I mean, obviously it's only 62%, but it's most likely going to take that low. So obviously this hour hasn't taken any high, hasn't taken any low. We've come back up into the opening candle. The 9 o'clock open is here. So statistically, there is a 76% probability of taking that open. Normally it happens by 9:30, 10:30. So normally this is the point where it'll happen if we're going to take that high. So high probability of this high as well. And then we got our gap. All right. Hour's over. New hourly candle. 59% probability to be bearish, and as the hour opens, we start going down. So obviously now we take the low, but this hour's already over, right? Because it's a new hourly candle. Isn't that funny how as soon as the hour opens, we've now changed here, you can see. I mean, if it runs without me, it runs without me. But you can see how that hourly profile just kept you out, catching all this. And then as soon as the last minute of the candle, first hour of the opening next candle, and bang. That's where you get your drop. We had our high in the last quarter. third. Looks like it's doing its thing straight away. Not a problem. Again, right now, we've had 3 minutes, right? This is a good signal, but try to combine it all, yeah. Let me get some music. What do you guys think? You get music on the stream? Or just something in the background? What about other stuff? Obviously, this is new to me on the live. Any ideas and some good filler content? Here we go. Or is this enough? Talking through each hour. Yeah. I was hoping that here we'd get a little bit of a pullback in for giving us a little high in the hour. Obviously, still nothing. It's still right now for me. We are bearish, but not by much. We've now changed. Yeah, CL starting to transition potentially. It's against the higher time frame though, but we have gone into a sequence 1. So again, we'll look at that 20-minute segment. We're taking highs. That might be a good one. Obviously, 20 minutes being here, G19 on the close of that candle. So our probability. CL's got lovely stats. 78% probability. A high and low and a bullish candles in the first 20 minutes. Very nice. What did gold do? Putting our high. Pew, pew, pew. Hello, data. Here's our low. Here's our high. We are still bullish. Sequence 3, 72%. I'll wait for our 20 minutes. Come on, back up. So remember, guys, we're trading probability. We obviously have what we think, but that needs to be then backed up by probability. So you can think something, and that's great, but then you want the probability to confirm what you're thinking, because majority of the time, that's how it plays out. So it just keeps you from, like, for example, how many times have you thought something's going to go, you jump in, you're always early, and then it goes the other way first. It's like, that's because it's not ready yet. But obviously having the probability and the data align just helps you kind of wait out those periods of where it just wants to have a little play around first and then it goes. So yeah. So we're on 6 minutes, guys. So obviously our first indication is the first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes of each hour gives us a good insight into how that hour could go. Above a 50% probability of a directional bias. Still not enough, but stay red. Stay red, stay red, stay red. There's NVIDIA. Pretty 50-50. Apple, corrective, 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 corrective. Pretty corrective day among the main pairs. But Apple and Microsoft. So Apple right now, we have it's bearish. So it's a 90% probability of closing bullish right now on Apple. Doo-doo. There's our open. Although we are gone bearish. Oh no, I'm still on NVIDIA. I was going to say, seems a bit odd. We are bullish. Not by much though. So obviously when it opened, we opened with a corrective prediction. I reckon these highs probably go maybe. CL. All right, this is our last segment one candle. So segment one being here. So by this point, we're at least a 57% probability of either the high or low being in for the bearish and bullish. Yeah. Interesting level. My God. Gotta check now. It was a DR trader before this. And then before that, it was crypto. So I started off in crypto and then got into Forex. And pretty much at that time went into DR. That was almost 2 years ago. And at the same time, my mum got into ICT. So when the 2022 mentorship was released. My settings for the V1, I have a 20-minute line. I just changed the opacity on it. 40-minute line, and I changed the opacity. And then I just tend to use normal signals. Now, I did do an update last night on the late signals just to increase their probability. But they are more for stocks where regular trading hours statistics are better. So I don't have to worry about it too much. Where is it? There it is. So if we just put on our late signals, you can see obviously they're not amazing for NQ now because the data favors normal electronic rather than regular. But on likes of stocks, the late signals are better. Did that help? Here we go. So look, first 10 minutes taking the high. So right now, probability, not huge, but 6 bullish over bearish. Not enough yet, but still another, we shall see. 20 minutes is you know, that's what's given us that little edge. The extra 15%. Great. So yeah, kind of from DR, like VIBs. I know obviously IC uses VIBs. So volume imbalances and gaps I really like. Always like them. Always found that they can work really, really well, especially for getting in on a trade, stop loss management, things like that. Obviously, if you're in the Discord, you've got a link. There's to this indicator. It's free. Anyone can have it. It's not a private one, which is just a bit. I was wondering whether we might pop up and fill that. We've also got this one up here. So it'd be even stronger to see a close above here for the bullish side, right? Failing to close above. Not massive probability in our favor. See who's sat on this one. So I think you'd be. What is it you guys trade? So we got obviously always got ICT traders. There are so many of you guys. It's got to be one of the biggest, right? Is ICT not? I know it's not the same, but is it kind of from the same background as Smart Money, or is it? Was he the original creator of Smart Money? Was that there? Nice. What platform are you using for your bookmap and footprint? Yeah, I'm thinking about giving Quant Tower a go. I like A little tap up here. Thinking a tap back here. Stop above. And coming down. This is me thinking, oh, they don't support Mac. Well, I think that's out of the way. For me, I have a Mac. Not this isn't, but one of the trade setups I use is a Mac. I like the iMac screens. I really like the iMac just because it's squarer, bigger. I like. So I am conscious that maybe if we flip this low now. It's a 59% probability we close bearish. So Algo's not giving us that much of a great help right now. We have been taking lows. We failed to, so we took that low, which is always a good. We took the low of the previous hour. We are bearish. We are below. I want to take my first trade live. Just want to wait for the right one. So this fib is holding up. Well, give whatever fucking hell it is. That's where we were looking potentially just to snipe a little entry. We are 20 minutes. So our high and low is in. So obviously if this high goes now, then that's our clear expectation that the that we expect this hour to be bullish. Ooh. Yeah, it is bad they don't support Mac. I think everyone would support Mac by now. Yo. Which stream, this one or a previous stream? I've yet to break me cherry trading live. Boy, I've got a trade twice beforehand. YM, yeah. So YM stayed pretty bullish, isn't it? Putting in our high, putting in our low, taking highs. Strong trend. You want to see the data? You can sneak a peek of the data. Let me go on the 5 minute for you. Okay, so obviously 900 candles. This data, or you just mean the prediction? Yes. So there is a course that goes through every indicator, sort of setups that I use, ways to trade it. And then I'm just going to be continuing to build out that course as it gets bigger, and there's just different setups, different ways of trading it. I'm trying. I don't want to push it too much as like this is how you should trade, because it's not. It is a toolkit for people to take and trade their own way. But if people are looking for support and help on ways they can trade, or maybe they take some ideas from it, that's why I've added those videos on for some setups and ways that I look at it. Just to add a bit of value, really. But it's not a mentorship, it's not a course, it's an indicator toolkit that will be continue to develop, and we will continue to add tons and tons and tons of probability data around all different things, levels, time, different hourly candles, swing trading, just so that whatever it is you trade, invest in, all that type of thing, you'll be able to look for high statistical trades backing with where you think the trade might go. So yeah, when you sign up for the trial, there's a 14-day trial. You'll be taken through. There's a course section, and all the videos are in there. And there's PDFs going about now as well, which have nearly finished. Running out of time. Yeah. So what data is it on? We want to see. So we've got our Dow Jones. We opened here on 9:30. Our 9 o'clock open is here. So statistically now, if we are bullish, we expect this low to stick, right? If we're going to go bearish, this is our high. Let me go back on NQ. So gold, obviously, here's our gold high, here's our gold low. We're expecting gold to carry on bullish. We don't want to see this low go. We do want to see this high go. Right now, nothing on the cards for gold. For me, for bearish, we are still above the zero line here. And while we are doing that, and we are not cleanly downward bending round, and everything is bullish, for me on gold, I am still bullish. NQ is more of a pickle. Like I said, this is the 9:30. So again, these are things that will come, but 9:30 has a 73% probability that during the New York session that it will be, price will trade through it. So we have a 73%. Right. We've got our opening gap, which I am not thinking about at the moment. We're under, so we're bearish. We're predicting bearish with probability. Ideally, I want to see it switch the other way. I do love Austin. And so Austin's data is different And one of the things, obviously, I want to kind of remain respectful to is that I'm not out to copy all of his data. I think there's elements of which will be similar. So, for example, the opening hour, you've got multiple people who trade that as well. The Sunday open, things like that. So there are some things, but ultimately what I do want to do is remain respectful to certain people that I want to kind of add a different flair to. But yeah, like the 9:30, 9 o'clock open was something I've looked at for a long time. So rather than it be kind of all the levels and everything, I also don't look at it by day. Just try and look at it as a general statistic, as I don't think there's enough data around the day for me. But yeah, Austin's wicked. Again, theirs is more of a they're a trading community in that obviously you come on and trade with them in their style, in their way, risk management, all that kind of thing. As where with Max Algo, I'd more be say, we'll take Max Algo and add that to the way that you want to trade, and obviously setups that we use. So I am not trying to create a new way of trading that everyone follows. Just trying to put statistics behind traders. And obviously, like with the algo, do something that's never been done before. Offer something that predicts the market as and when you're doing it. Not just probability, but physically right now. They are very slow. How's CL doing? All right. So again, this is our low for CL from the previous hour. Statistically, we are more likely to have our bearish hour, but this is an important level. Obviously, you can see here we've come down and put in a high. So our low was in segment 3, which you can see bullish low, 10% probability. Will it happen again? We also don't have anything yet. We're still above the zero line. We're correcting down, correcting down. So until market structure changes as well and everything aligns, we are still bullish on CL. Obviously, you can see that even though we've pushed down, so we've got this very bearish hour, CL is still remaining an 88% probability of closing bullish this hour. So this is a really strong signal that even though we've had this big push down this hour, the volume hasn't been enough for the algo to say, no, we've gone corrective. So we're not even seeing that. So right now, very interesting. Thanks, Naim. Appreciate it. Great. I'm really pleased, James. That's exactly what I wanted it to do, to kind of, when you take the personal ownership of taking the trade, like you made that decision. But when you back it then with data, it's like, well, as long as you've traded it with your probability, it takes that personal onus off a bit and helps with the psychology side, that at least you know you made your decision with a statistical edge. Though it's looking very bearish. This little correction up like this, normally like to see them drop down a bit more. But this is why we combine all the probabilities together. Because obviously if we've got hourly probability matching with algo probability matching with market structure, it's like just stacking of those confluences. Here we go. Now we're starting to see the volume kick in and give us that corrective change. Here now. See, it just flipped. So now for the next hour for me for CL, we want to see this low go, and we're starting to see, we'll see potentially this come to the zero line, and that might be where we then start to look to get that bearish setup potentially. But till then, we wait for everything to align. So is ES going to go now? Oh, ES has dropped. And Q. So we remain bearish. We're still not taking the low. So remember, we're still sat in this high here and this low here. ES has taken the low. I probably would have liked ES more. See how we've come under there and pushed up. I'd have liked that more. Bullish. So you can see this is really kind of, if you think of this as an hourly candle, right? That's the open. It's had that tiny wick. We had that big push down, right? So even here, we moved up first and came down. Here, when we opened, we've just come straight down. See now we've taken this low. So taken the high, trend AI's already taken, sorry, the dynamic TP's already taken the low. Price is struggling yet to take that low, but we'll see. There we go. So NQ's now taken the low. So now we know statistically. Oh, no, that's the high. This is what we're expecting. It's looking nice. Thinking we might just go fill that. But just not looking as, oh, it's nice. Here we go. Got an open VIB here. Maybe ES. Might just try and snipe. If we can tap that. Obviously, that's statistically. Just thinking. Bearish 61%, coming down nicely, still strong. Probabilities are going to be that low's going to go. I'm going to put my limit order in. So obviously I'm hoping that we tag this. Obviously here you can see it's still quite a strong level, so maybe be a wick up and close below these levels would be great. And then statistically, we are in the last quarter now, so we expect this low to go. And oh, damn. 1 minute. Oh, yeah, I'm on the 1 minute. I've just switched off NQ on ES for a second. I wanted to try and see if we'd get a wick up into that, but it's gone. So obviously, statistically, we're playing at the low there at 11.35, right? So there's the low, but you can see that we've still got 35, 45, 51%. So we've still got a 51% probability that that low is going to go, along with, you can see how this is much more really kind of shaped down, really kind of stronger push down, plus my probability at 61% compared to NQ. And I was trying to, because obviously we come down quite far, I was trying to grab a area where we could just wick into and go, but obviously didn't quite make it up. We had that level there as well with the VIBs. You can see that it couldn't get above. Obviously that's that now. Go back on NQ. So you see how NQ is just a little bit more bobbly. Bobbly. It's not as clean as ES. YM, obviously we're on, let's put on the minute. So YM, obviously look, we've taken the low. This is the low of the hour. Right now, obviously this is expecting that YM will close bearish this hour. Sequence 1 corrected bearish, high probability. But obviously we're still not taking the low of the hour. CL, we've still not taken that low. So we might creep into a new hour and then maybe we'll see that high go. Obviously if this low goes, then that makes a big difference. We're still in very low. So obviously we've got here transition bearish, transition bullish, but Why have I got 2 lines? Oh, it's me. That's fine. So obviously the hour, this hour hasn't confirmed. So obviously if we were to switch trend AI, nope. You can see that obviously as the hourlies are closing, right? So right now we're on a weak bearish trend. But obviously while I watch it live, you can see it started transitioning here. Confirm that at the end of the hour. And then obviously we've been bullish week. Still back to bearish week. So we haven't yet confirmed. What's the difference between the blue signals and the green signals? Okay, so the blue signals are based for your regular trading hours, right? So for example, I'll show you. If you go into your settings here, right, I can change this to regular trading hours. And what that does is it changes the data to start from half past, not on the hour. So for example, when you're trading like shares, they open at half past. So an hour candle is half past to half past. So the data can be different. So I'll show you an example. You can see on here for crude, the data's worse, right? So we can see the probability drops. So we want to be trading electronic trading hours. We want to be trading the hourly candles because statistically it's better for us. So even if we switch to regular trading hours, so we're just looking at New York Open now, right? So here's our statistics. If we then change it to regular trading hours, you can see that in New York, they're roughly the same. Although bullish obviously goes up to 63%. But the bearish lows go down slightly. So much of a much. But if we look at stock, so let's look at, I think it was Tesla. Tesla's an example, I think. No, that's not Tesla. So with Tesla, you can see here, look, we're at 64% and 60%, right? If I change it to electronic, you can see the statistics drop 52%. So Tesla and most of the stocks, because they're obviously all around New York. Good morning, buddy. You want to be trading them in regular trading hours. Now the blue signals are based around that half an hour. So they are giving you that high probability for the regular trading hours in the same way that the normal signals do for electronic. So basically all it is just move forward a different time frame. So that's why it's confirming that half past has a high probability from half past to half past of being bullish and bearish, as long as the data matches up. So that's what it does. They were called New York signals. I just changed them to late. Potentially I might put them back to regular trading hours, RTH. Put that on there so people could be more clear. No worries. So yeah, good. So yes, we can see we put in that low that we were trying to grab from here. Obviously, you can see that this was a nice breakdown, come back and get up. I was hoping that we might just wick up where I have my limit order here, grab that trade, slightly smaller stop, and then target taking the lows for our statistical edge. Didn't get it. I preferred the way that our dynamic TP was. See how steep that is? It's much steeper compared to NQ, which is more dribbly. Look at CL. Coming right near, got 15 minutes. Well, obviously, we're sat at that low. You know, potentially this is a cheap entry. You know, if we're expecting, wrong way. We're expecting take this high, right? It's 3R. So as long as 30%, 35% of the time that trade plays out, you're looking good. We haven't got anything majorly statistical to say that, you know, It's heavy, it's corrective bearish. But I'd want to get as close to the new hour as possible, right? But we're still not going to take it because I haven't got probability lined up for us. Here it is coming back. That was the open yesterday. Obviously, that's the gap for CL, right? So CL now, we failed to take that low here. Maybe we might now flip, come take that high. We will see. Still bearish. Oh, I think that opening gap's probably affecting that a lot more. Euro USD's got under the zero line. We've now taken the low of the previous hour. We're still very bullish. We're still bullish. So nothing aligning yet from the bearish side. Gold, we've remained bullish on, right? Looks like potentially we might be starting to see that come back round now. Maybe gold might go. Obviously, this hour had a 72% probability of closing bullish. There's the open. So potentially we might see that close in. However, it's not a particularly very clean candle. My day. All right, yeah, I've had one trade here on NQ. I caught this before we went on live. Got my timing wrong. Should have been live. But obviously, it was the algo that really pushed that for me, because we'd had this large push up, and that the algo still opened 81% bearish. Same trade. Boosh. And then I was looking at this short horn in Q, but we've just been dribbling, and then wanted to take it on ES, but didn't get to where I wanted to take. Obviously, statistically, we knew this. We had probability of this low going. Wanted this VIB filled. Stops below, and then targeting either the low or slightly further down. But anyway, didn't play out. We didn't get the tag in. Not to worry. CL. There we go. Starting to have that turnaround. There's a lot off with that open on CL. Are you actually mixing Max Algo with It's Impossible already? I try. I mean, obviously, like liquidities, like this sort of thing is still how I trade, but I haven't put it in for the purpose that obviously It's Impossible. I want to kind of try and not to confuse and mix it up. But yeah, man, like I'm trying to show it simpler, probably with the hourly market structure, and then stuff like this, which is obviously a liquidity grab, close above, market structures aligned. That potentially was a good trade. And then obviously I'm still going to develop for It's Impossible as well. But I'm trying to focus, like Max Algo is all about probability. So I want to make sure that kind of everything that we do has a statistical edge for people, so that you can kind of, when you're making your decisions, it's backed by data, not backed by an opinion or what it looks like, so that you can then trade it with something that's independent of anyone, and it's just hard fact. Great. I mean, I like, you know, obviously like DTFX stuff I really like. I'm from Photon originally. So market structure and zones were a big part of obviously how I was trading. But I kind of have my own way of trading. So I use Max Algo with my own kind of style, but majority around kind of the stuff that you've seen as well. Hear that? Bitcoin. So obviously our weekly is 96% bullish. It is looking bullish. Obviously, I like to see kind of the way that we know kind of forming is that we get that kind of pullback, and then the only thing is that when Bitcoin goes, it just goes, right? So you don't often get that pullback on a very, very strong move. It'll just fly in the direction that it wants to go. So yeah, but it's had some trades. The weekend was just amazing. It was literally kicking ass. Nice corrective into bullish. But I think kind of this was Sunday here. This was our transition back to bullish. And then it was a sequence 1 with a nice buy signal. And then Saturday, same thing. Back to bullish. Yeah. But it's been very good. Got me spot trading on. It's harder for us to trade Bitcoin in the UK because obviously they stopped us from trading a lot of platforms. I mainly just spot trade when it comes to crypto. You can't. So, like for example, I used to trade on so Binance is where I first used to trade the futures. You can't use that feature. Any other platform like that, same thing as well. Stops you from using the features. I think KuCoin I can, but I just got fed up of having to constantly change between platforms. Yeah, they don't want you messing with crypto. It's our government for you. Let's go back. Right, we got 4 minutes. CL's in a sequence 1. Yet failed to take this low. And obviously we've come back up. Said we pushed down here and held that sequence 1. We only had a slight flitter. But you know, when you're pushing that much volume in the opposite direction for a candle and the prediction stays strong, that it's good. So obviously this is our open here. I doubt in 4 minutes or in 3 minutes we're going to close above that. So we'll probably just about miss it. You can see the data. I don't know if anyone's ever had a look. So for example, I'll show you the data filling out, right? Let me make this small. Actually, put on 30 seconds. So here we go. So you see it's red. That's showing you that the current outcome is negative to what it expects, right? So it's predicting there's a 1.89% chance, 14% chance. It's against, so it's reducing that probability. You'll see when it's in the direction, it'll go green, showing that it's having a positive impact on on the percentage. So as each candle forms, it adds to the data. So the data's constantly changing and increasing. So you can see we're green now here, right? Because obviously the prediction is 61% probability. It's a 15-second candle, which is why it's dying around. But it's just so you can see that how the data is collected. So you can see that as new candles form, that can have a positive impact and a negative impact on the statistics. Now, because it's made up of so many candles, it's minor, but just so you can see. So we got our level on NQ. I'm probably on the wrong one. I reckon this was my NQ one. Let's have a look. Oh, no. It was MNQ. Hang on. There we go. So we got our low in the last quarter, in the last third. You see we've gone bullish and then gone bearish straight away. But failing to take that low. So it's on New York Open, and we have a 73% probability of closing bullish for New York. Our daily is 80% bullish. Our daily open is here, right? So we're right at the daily open. We have a 73% probability that we're going to hit this 9 o'clock. Normally when we hit it, we've already done it by now. But it still remains 73% for the session. Right, new hour. Still predicting bearish on NQ. Still bearish on ES. Gold, still bullish. Sequence 4, 75%. We've had this slow correction down. See how we've come down, but we've failed to take these lows, being more corrective. Still like gold. Long. CL. Bullish. We're at 66% probability that we close bullish this hour. We'll see how that goes. YM. Okay, we've already taken the low of the previous hour. Obviously, because it's been quite close. You know, we'll keep this one on mind as well. So we took the high here. Didn't take the low. But we are crossing the zero line here. Right? So YM could be it's corrective bullish, so more probability of going down. Late signal into the sell as well. What's YM on the late signals? Put it back on regular trade hours. Oh, there we go. So YM on regular trading hours, 67% in the first 10 minutes in New York, in the New York session. So what we want to do on that, so when we're on YM, let's just change this to be, hello. There's a little gold mine. We want 50 minute, we want 10 minute. I'll talk through what I've just done. Okay. And I want to turn off the hourly. See you later. Okay. So now what we're looking at is our New York Open hourly candle, right? So during New York and regular trading hours, okay, you can see an hour candle isn't actually from the start of the hour, it's from half past. And what we found out is that statistically, YM works better with that hour from half past to half past than it does the traditional hour. So with YM on the Dow Jones, you can see that a bullish hour on the last 203 New York bullish hours, 67% of the lows have been in the first 10 minutes, which is just incredible. So look, we've got 60%. By 20 minutes in, we are 70%, 80%. So, I mean, 80% probability. So right here, right? So there's an 80% probability in this bearish candle. That's our high. When we took this high here, probability, this is our low. And look how close we come to that low. Could have been a nice little snipe entry just for a cheap entry. Expecting it to be bullish. Bang. Targeting this high in our profit quarter. Very nice. So we're getting close to this zero line. Obviously on electronic, we're just about going through, aren't we? Sequence 3, bullish. Okay. I imagine the next hour is going to flip that. We get a sell signal too. Get EMAs crossing. Oh. We take the hourly low. Oh, that'd have been a great trade. So how we take this hourly low nice and quick. Bang. Come to the 20 minutes here. Could have been a good trade here. So YM is predicting bearish, right? So 63% probability that YM closes below the open. I think because the volume's been so high in the way we've opened, it's pushed us more bullish. So we probably might see this transition with it failing to close bullish. That'll force it into a, I mean, it's only 62% anyway, it's not huge, but will be a corrective bullish, which obviously becomes very high probability of closing bearish. Yeah, I mean, got this open here, but that could be a nice trade. Tag this, stop here. Ooh, possibly. I love the data that we've just found on YM. Fucking hell. So, okay, 36%, 15%. So our highs are still not as clean. So when we're expecting our bullish high, 36, 46, 52, 62, 68 in the last half hour. bearish is a little bit cleaner. 57. Where is our 9 o'clock? I'm liking that I am this. ES was better. So ES we're still 8 minutes in. So obviously with ES, you can see that. So we put that into a regular trading hours and do the same thing. We do not get an increase in stats, which is why we trade ES on electronic. So in the first 10 minutes on a bullish, so if we think about it now, look, this is the last minute. So we're taking this high. So right now, if we're going to go bullish, there's a 60% probability that this is our low. At the same time, this is the last minute of the 10-minute block. So even this would be the high. So 59% that this is our high for a bearish hour. Yeah. So the first 10 minutes already give you a kind of insight of where your high and low could be for the hour. The 20 minutes just give you an even bigger insight. And YM, wow. 67% long on oil. Nice. %66 probability. Let's check oil for our regular trading hours. Ooh. I know we've done that already, haven't we? It's pretty similar. 62.59. Slightly better. So you could probably use both signals, and it doesn't really matter which one you use. So we turn on our late signals for CL. There's a late buy signal for CL. Another buy. Really want to see CL push above this high. We take that high, we get that nice confirmation and continuation. We turn bullish here. We're bullish on the high. We're bullish on the trend. The trend's now gone to a weak bullish trend. So we have transitioned. So we've got a confirmation of a transition. We want to see it push a little bit more, but it has transitioned. It's full confirmation. A full hour is complete. Yeah, we take off real time. You can see we transitioned. Nope. This is why I use real-time data. It's just get you a little bit ahead. Get a little few more signals, but when you're watching, it's just helpful. All right. We're skirting that zero line. So low-wise, okay. So if this is going to be a bearish hour, statistically, this is 20, 30. There's a 56% probability that this low goes. Was there any payday set up today? I don't know. Was gold a payday? Yeah, gold. Gold's transitioned into a payday. Yeah, strong bullish. So anytime you get strong, that's confirming it's with the higher time frame. But don't forget, guys, that all the transitions are high probability. So when you get a transition that's high probability, the payday setup is about that it being a continuation. So a correction, a transition, and a continuation of the higher time frame. So you're basically playing hourly higher time frame and another higher time frame, and the two are aligning. So it should give you that larger move. But transitions, so we can see gold's now gone long here. So yeah, gold's transitioned into a payday. We're bullish on MNQ, but bearish. Same thing on ES. CL, we're bearish, but bullish. Euro USD, we're bearish, but bullish at the moment. YM, we are bearish, but bullish. Yeah. So none of them are matching. Bitcoin is. So obviously Bitcoin transitioned here into a payday. It's been pumping ever since. We've got a weakening of the Bitcoin trend, but we take this high, so potentially we might get a continuation of the trends and might carry on bullish. So I've got this open Viv. Bending round. Left one open. Might just be a real sneaky trade. $85, $40. Don't know whether to make it super cheap. A little bit more risky. But with us leaving these open, I'm looking that we might continue on our bearish trend. If not, we get it cheap. I don't really want to see us go above this high. This is really as much as I'd want to be taking. Real cheap trade. Nope. Not to worry. Yeah, so I was just playing try and catch a cheap trade just out of this rejection here, and then maybe a pullback back down into this. Obviously, right now we've started a new hour. We're bearish. We've come under the zero line. Want to see that go back bearish again. I was looking for us to tap this and then fail to go above and go down. Just take a cheap trade. Obviously, the return on it's quite is fine for the loss, for not having a high win rate. We'll see. We are bullish as well, really. It's not super high probability. Hang on, I'm on the wrong. I want to be looking at that one. So really want to see is not being able to get back above there now. And I'm looking for us to come back down. Come below these, go break even. I've got my TradingView login on this one screen. It's so annoying you can't have it on multiple screens. Yeah, so realistically, see this now coming back above it. Don't lag it. We are still above on electronic. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could still just come down, fill this, and then go bullish, at which point I'll be reducing my risk anyway. If we come down to there now, especially with us coming back up, I don't want to see us coming back up. So remember, we tap here. Or reduce risk. Come on. Leave this open and just go. We don't want to flip that. Another gap. But obviously sometimes we'll open these, flip them, and then use them for going the other direction. All right. That'll do. It's not that much risk. I'd rather just get taken out than close it early. Like, it really doesn't matter if I get taken out. Just expected us to come down a little bit sooner than we've hung around there too much. Really just wanted a tap and drop. A bit like this. Tap and drop. So if it was anything significant, I'd be out the trade. But because it's like $30, like, I'm not really bothered. All right, so we're getting that tap now into here. Take the risk off the trade. Now, you just let it play out. So obviously, if we tap in here, fail to go through it, then we've been enough back into this for me. Want to go now. We want to see the trend TP change back to red as well. We want to see this go red with it maintaining blue. That's not good. We've obviously have taken this high as well. That's why I'm not trying to go for the low. I'm just trying to bring us back into this level here. So we've got 5 minutes 5 minutes left of the New York candle. So on YM, we are looking at here being the open, right? So expected to close bullish just means that we expect to close below that open. So we've got 6 minutes left. Obviously on regular trading hours, we haven't yet gone under the zero line. So if we go red and go under, we really could get that move to come further down, but we need to see it. And there's the gap back up. So I fully expect to get taken out on break even. Unless we come back through this low, which would be very nice. We've obviously got this level here as well. So like here, and we're at break even here. So it's like we've been through these levels numerous times. So we come back above now. We do not want to go high. We are corrective. I like it. You know, that's big push, corrective down, continuation. So yeah. And that's the break even. But, you know, we had open VIBs below. There was potential for it to turn. We picked an area where it would give us room to take away risk. It was minimal risk. It's cost us nothing. And now we're gapping up. See, that's how it should have moved. Gapped and gone. Gapped and gone. If we were going to go back the other way. Go back to NQ. So NQ takes the low on the new hour. If NQ takes this high and we start flipping bullish, then remember we've got those levels above. Statistically, yeah, 73% closed bullish for New York. So we are expecting us to close above here. And we have our 9 a.m. Here's our hourly candle high. Here's our low, which has already been taken. So often I like a flip. So we take the low of the previous hour and then smash the high of the previous hour. That grab, go, and then the algo will switch bullish, give us that continuation. Obviously, we're still bearish on the trend AI, So we'd want to see that as well transition. But the first level of that is seeing this this come above the zero line. We've got quite a way to go. Gold looks like it's struggling. CL, we've taken the low in the 20 minutes, only just, but we're still statistically bullish. We're above the zero line. Algo's bullish. We are weak bullish on trend AI. We are bullish on market structure. We're a little bit messy on the EMAs. But yeah, all good. So YM, last candle for the hour. So again, it's predicted to close bullish. You can see that's the open. NQ. Yeah. Obviously, we have higher time frame statistics given as a potential bias for bullish, right? However, to be able to do that, well, market structure's got to change. Hourly candles have to take previous hourly candle highs for us to go up. And then EMAs have to be pointed out. Statistically, that means that this will go bullish or corrective. So that's why we're kind of like, although we can have a higher time frame bias, the lower time frame has to switch to facilitate a higher time frame move. So the algos are kind of giving you that higher time frame bias, and then you're looking for the lower time frames to facilitate it and confirm it. And at the moment, obviously, we've got hourly statistics, but very soon we'll have 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. You know, so we're able to look at the statistics of where we are in a higher time frame candle as well, and where that might flip and where that low might be, including the session. So we'll be able to get session data. I think that hopefully will be out this week. So the session data is in the same way that we've got this. You'll be able to see where the low and the high is for the whole New York session. It will break it down into 7 segments. But yeah, see how we're still below, right? So we've come below, we've corrected, come back down. Now we've dribbled back down, but we've come back down. Only failed to go a little bit more. Then we've gone back up again. So we really just want to see this can mess around a bit until we get back above this zero line. Most of the kind of, a lot of time you'll see the moves. Once we come above this zero line, we cross over. That's where you'll often see kind of like the volume kick in. So it's kind of like your first indication that the trend AI might change bullish. But yeah, I mean, look, what else have we got? We've got trend AI, very strong bearish. What that means is over 70% of all the volume, and there's a couple more stuff, but let's just talk. It's the easiest way to explain it to volume. Right now, the bearish volume is higher than 70% of all the previous volume. Well, there's a good chance you'll get it. We haven't yet, you know, we're still bearish as it currently sits. So, and with trend AI, obviously we might go to like a stronger trend, but right now the prediction is that we are still only going to flip back bearish. You know, we haven't got anything yet confirming a bullish change. Nothing. Not one thing. Other than data. And data is not enough. Is it? Come on. Let's go. How's the CL trade looking? Bit dribbly. Failed to take the high. Maybe we'll take the lows. But again, we're bullish. Just higher time frames bearish. So we expect to return to that potentially at some point. Obviously, this hour right now, statistically, lower probability this low will go. But not impossible. Just lower probability. And sometimes, like here, we have the same thing here. So we get this corrective pullback before we get the move down, right? So it might be that we're getting that corrective move up for this hour before then we move down. Or we could just go straight down. YM, still bullish. I was a little bit early on that attempt, probably. This changes. Obviously, YM in the first 10 minutes, we've got a 67% probability of finding the high and low. This is beautiful. That was a great find today. Well, I mean, I think kind of there's lots of times where something doesn't work or something works. What we're trying to be is statistically correct for the long run. You know, there's lots of examples where you can find something working. The whole idea of probability is that if you've traded it with probability, if you'd have taken that trade over and over again, then statistically, if you've traded it with probability, then you'll be right more often than you were wrong. And then there's lots of other things, obviously, like what's the risk to reward for it? You know, what win rate do you need to get? Well, and remember, correctiveness is corrective expecting to go back into the trend. Yeah, I think, do you know what? And we've all been through this as traders. Like, you go through a period, and the worst thing you try and do is fix your problems. Like, something doesn't work out. I need to find a reason, more reasons, rather than it being just not part of, you know, it's just part of the system, right? Things not working out or missing a trade. It's about the long run of it, rather than trying to get perfection and never lose and always win. I know my first year was chasing that dream. Oh, all those Confluences stacked up. Why did it lose? I need more. So you see how the hour makes such a difference for the type of price. Like, sometimes, like, you just got to wait for that new hourly candle. So now we're going red. It's just a little bit early. Okay. So Nice move down from NQ. Here's our statistical low. We've gone bearish. These are my favorite. You know, when you get these big wicks down, and then when price comes through it can often be a really strong kind of move on. Really like it. Anyone who's not already with us, 14-day trial will not be going for after this week. Will be reduced, and the discount will also be reduced as well. So if you do want to take advantage of it now, then head across Max Algo. How's there been? See? Come on. Push through that low and plummet. And then top of the rock's going to get a TP. Woo! Come on. Let's go. See, these highs are just minutes into the next segments. Just minutes. Like, obviously, one of the things I'd have loved to have done, instead of 10-minute segments, 5-minute segments, minute segments, just to get really precise. Maybe that's something that we'll do just for our scalpers, so you can find the highest probability. You're looking all right. Let's go. So if you think about it, obviously this being the statistical low and this being the statistical high, it's 3 candles in. Do you know what I mean? So like if you think about the probability in segment 3 is 10%, it's just a few more. So but right now, that is our statistical low. Could we flip it round and say bearish, right? So our high is here. We need to have taken the low to confirm that, you see. Pending round. right, so statistically speaking now, if YM is going to go bullish, we have a 67% probability. That's our low. I did. I took the NQ trade here. So I took this because when we transitioned into this, obviously it's a little early, but we had an 81% probability on the algo, which when you've had such a strong move back up and the algo is still predicting an 81% bearish after that, and then the dynamic TP changes, and then we get a sell signal, I was all for it. We'd also taken lows, and obviously a little bit bigger market structure, but obviously we'd come up here, had this low, taken that low, come back up, so potentially this is our high, and then we were obviously hourly gone bearish. So yes, that was my trade. And then I tried to grab a cheap trade in YM before, but I got a BE. Didn't get the reversal I wanted, but okay, that's all right. Wasn't particularly high probability. I'm more pushing for my first trade live. I've been live 3 days and I'm not taking a trade yet. So I wanted to execute. And it was all right, to be fair. Didn't feel any more pressured, or you don't have that sell signal. Okay. Have you? Let me just check the time of it. No, you should have it. Absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have that sell signal. You got it set to normal signals. Just to confirm, yeah. A normal signal. Our late signals are blue. Our early signals are yellow. And in fact, I'm going to use, V1, yeah. It was 922. 922. So on YM, I want to use. So I want to use my. I want to use. No. Normal is my early signal. Is no. No, I need to build early signals for that. Okay. We want to be using blue. Why is there no blue there? Normal. Early. Let's have a look. So normal is, yeah. No worries. This is our high. This is our low. We still yet haven't. Obviously, look, we've put in this hourly low here. We didn't take it. We took the high. We put in this low. We took the low. Right. We have gone above the other hour. Yeah, I mean, it obviously being in the UK, that's like 1 o'clock for me in the afternoon. I do a lot of my trading like an hour and a half before New York Open on NQ. I like that hour. till about 10 minutes before the open. Now you don't have that signal. It's definitely there. Definitely. So New York Open, just before New York Open. No worries, bud. So if we go red here now, that's good because obviously we've gone red, gone blue, failed to come up and take the high. Then we cross red again, come down and get that target. I mean, it looks like the trade that I'm looking for isn't going to happen in time. It's probably going to be later on. I really want to kind of see a switch bullish, but that might not happen. So you see here, if we're expecting YM to be bullish, this is another, obviously like cheap trades. We know typically, we're at 47 minutes, right? So we've got 10 minutes into here and we're quite a bit way into here. So we're well into 70%. Well, in fact, now we're at 80%. So right now, if we're going to go bullish, there's not enough high probability for me, but if we're going to go bullish, right, this would be your trade here. So we're taking this, stop below the low, 70% of the bullishness. If you were going to go long, you're at 70% by this point, right? So a limit order even here, stop below, 70%. If you're expecting it to go up 70% of the time, that's your low. By the time you get the 20 minutes, you're up at 80%. Yeah, 67%, 77%, plus the 3, 80%. So right now, this is sitting at 80%. And every minute that goes, that probability increases if it's going to go bullish, right? Because we haven't taken either, you think kind of same thing as well. Here's our high, here's our low, both in the first 10 minutes. So you got both this statistic. So ideally, we like that. Tag at the top. Now we've put our high in, we've taken the high. So the low still sits in the most probable area, and the high is then in a lower one. NQ, obviously this for this hour was our high probability. We've got 9 minutes left, 8 minutes. So, we are more bearish than bullish. So this is our open here. It's only 62, 63%, let's say, but we expect price to come close behind here. But we did have a bullish hour confirmation. Gave us our low. Crazy seeing that stat play out. Did you guys see the YM gold mine they found for the statistics? People are still here since I found it before. Does anyone trade YM? So again, all we're citing here is probability, statistical probability. What's more likely than less likely. Doesn't mean it happens all the time, just more often. So we got 6 minutes till we're getting into our last candle. Let's go. Let's get down to that TP. CL getting close to that zero line, but we have, look, we've transitioned back bullish. We still haven't taken any lows. Obviously, the last to take was the high. We could finish this hour with just a bit of an inside candle. See? Whoop. I want to see NQ close behind here. Remember, our daily open is here, which is where we're currently sat at. Daily close is 80% closes bullish. So if we do come below here, we are expecting before the New York close to come back above. So we might fill that, then flip bullish, and then potentially take some levels above. But trend AI and everything else is bearish. So that is just an idea and not based on anything other than statistically the 930 gets hit, but most of the time it gets hit within the first 3 hours. So the probability drops. New York open, 73% probability New York closes bullish. 80% probability closes bullish. So they are just probabilities. We want to see everything else align. So lower time frame before we're trying to hit those targets. 4 minutes left. I've done it again. Keep hitting the close button. Right. So remember YM. I mean, obviously, like you think this signal gives you a long. Obviously, that's at 42. Statistically in your favor. Just not high probability on the algo. The things you got in favor is this really. Not much else. So not high probability enough for me. Not high probability enough for me. Euro sticking it to the bullish still. Remember, trend AI very strong. We haven't seen that trend weakening at all. And while it doesn't weak, we expect to return back to our existing trend. Although we've come below, above, below. So messy. CL takes that low. All right, so CL has not given us an inside candle. We've taken the low of the previous hour. We've come below the zero line. Possible now transition back to bearish. We might get a sequence 1, which then gives us our payday, which will then put us in line for bearish moves. Bearish moves. But yeah, we need to see everything align. Failed to take the high. Taking the low. It's a little later in the room, but I'd like to see this low go as well. But we're coming way below now. So you can see, obviously, like we are, with this drop down, bearish. We'll see. That's the beauty of what we do. We combine all the data to give us the high probability. And we wait. This is the last minute. So for it to close bearish, we've got to close below that level. And there it does. So we get a bearish hour matching our data. Oh, God, that was funny. Oh, no, sorry, it's this one, 59 minute. So this one's got to close bearish. Looks like it's going to close bullish. There's our hourly open, right? There's the close of the previous hour. %62% that we're expecting it to be bearish. Whoa. 19 seconds, 18 seconds. There we go. There's our bearish hour. Okay, next hour. Probability goes up 66%. You can see that it's changing between 66.6 and 66.8. That is because right now the prediction is bearish and we're bullish, which means that it's a false. So out of the 318 times, there is more false data. So it reduces the percentage. Obviously, if it then goes bearish, that will increase because we've got more winning trades. Can you quickly run through on the charts for NQ from last week, which can you quickly run the charts of NQ last week, which regarding high probability? Yeah, we should be able to go to last week. So obviously all of this is bullish, right? So here we have a transition into our bullish trend on Wednesday, and we've maintained that all the way through. Yeah. So that would give us our sequence ones, for example, when we're continuing back into a sequence one. So I would have looked for market structure and everything aligning to give us, hang on a second, I thought so. But wrong settings. It's because it was for a different chart, that's why. Pain in the bum. Right. I must have fucking changed my NQ chart. Here we go, getting towards your target. Right, last week. Go back to last week, Andy. Yes, we go weak here, so the trend goes strong. Doesn't ever go weak. While we're in this sort of phase, we're always expecting it to go back bullish. We come back above the zero line. We start breaking hourly structure. Yeah, so here's our hourly structure. Breaking bullish, come above the zero line. Here's the low of the previous hour. We take that high. We've crossed over. We're bullish, right? So market structure, sequence one, everything aligning. So these are high probability. Obviously here we get a weakening of the transition. It goes back bullish. We come back above. Continuation. Here we get a transition, right? So this is Wednesday. We're bullish, transition, bearish. We're under, sell, 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 sell. We're only looking for sells, sells, sells. Thank you very much. We transition back to bullish. We're only looking for buys. Comes back above. Thank you very much. Right. Possible transition. Doesn't make it. Flips back bullish. Transition. Bullish. We're only looking for bullish. Corrective price action. Algo. We're taking lows in the hourlies. Lots and lots of high probability trades. Yeah. Just about waiting for everything to align. So there's New York Open. No worries, bud. That's what I'm here for. This is why I'm live. You can come in, ask your questions. I am only live, really, to support the Max Algo people. That's why I'm here. You can come on. This isn't about me trading live, although that's what I'm going to do, obviously, and have done. It is about me supporting everyone. People coming on and seeing me talk through the data. And showcase, obviously, the new indicators, new probabilities that come out as well. Right, so let's look at YM. So YM, we are predicting bullish, right? Now, statistically, we found a gem on YM. So when you're trading YM, you want to change your hourly stats to be regular trading hours in New York. And you want to change it down on the chart here. You can't see because my face is in the way. Where my face is, right about here, there's a button that says electronic trading hours. Change that to RTH, which is regular trading hours. And then it only shows you New York. And then what you'll see is statistically, here, YM statistics go through the roof. And what it's showing is that during New York and during regular trading hours, an hourly candle is from half past, not from on the hour. So an hourly candle starts at half past because obviously New York opens at 9:30, right? So an hourly candle is from 9:30 to 10:30. So these stats then focus from 9:30 to 10:30 instead of from 9 till 10, 10 to 11. So you can see here, using that method, that YM statistics go through the roof and give you a 67% in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, really high probability. So absolutely cracking little gem I found there. So when I'm waiting for everything to align, let's see if we've got everything aligned. Okay, so right now, right, we're looking at this and this has gone, this is bullish, but our dynamic TP's gone under the zero line and is red. So that's not aligning, right? Market structure, we've taken the low, so that's not aligning. Our EMAs are bearish, so that's not aligning. So it's about having everything aligning. So when we're looking to go bullish, we're looking for you know, for the dynamic TP to be above the zero line, to be blue, giving us that confidence that we're going up in the right direction. Or if we're bearish, yeah, like here, we're bearish, we cross the zero line, we've broken the zero line, the EMAs, we get a sell signal, right? Same thing here. It is aligning with probability. That's why that trade this morning, for me, I had enough confidence to take that trade. And obviously it's cleaner on YM than it is on that's right. Yeah, it's cleaner on YM. Oh, that wasn't this morning, that was yesterday. Hang on. Is it cleaner on ES? I'm on electronic trade house. Pain in the bum. Right. mixing around too many pairs. Keep closing it and changing my settings. Okay. So now we corrective bearish on ES. 9:30. Hang on, I need to fix this ES chart. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. That's better. That's better. All right, we're corrective bearish. So 1,000 times this has happened on ES. And of the 1,000 times, only 1.48% closed bearish. Doesn't mean that we're going to go to the moon because it's corrective. Look at this. Corrective. Just means that we could be corrective and close bullish, right? Does not mean we go moon. Just means we're not expecting to yet go down, possibly. I've got this right. Yeah. So same thing again, we've gone corrective, bearish, although we are in between volume. So again, when you're seeing stuff like this, like we're not high probability. We're high probability in this, and then bearish is 66%. So we just need to see everything align. So while we're uncertain, while the algo is uncertain, we want to add Confluence to it. So what would be Confluence? Okay, well, if we take this low, we know this is statistically our high, and we're more likely to have a bearish hour. Are we above or below? So statistically, we're below on here, so we're more bearish. But it's just not giving you that high probability, as where with that trade we pushed all the way up and still maintained the sequence 1 bearish, right? So we still had an 80% probability when that sell signal came, with everything else aligning. And I think, guys, that's going to be me. I've been waiting for this is where I've been trading. This sidewaysness. So remember, YM, statistically by this point, this is our low for a bullish candle. We currently have a bearish candle, but still sideways. Thanks, everyone. Do us a favor. Do some liking, sharing. Give us a like in the chat as well if you've enjoyed, and obviously I'm happy with what I've delivered today in terms of the information. If there's anything I've missed just before I go, let me know and I'll quickly do it for you. Other than that, obviously I know a few of you guys are in trades. What they saying, Q trade? Which indicator? The algo or the statistics? This one. So this one, you can't change. It's just built for an hour. However, that is my next kind of job when I get some more free time, is I will be building out. Yeah, it's been a while. I will be building out. It won't be potentially. I might try and make it dynamic. See if we can do that. As we grow and I can bring developers on that obviously are better than me. These are the tasks that I'll be giving the developers. But what I will definitely be doing is doing like the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 3 hour, the 4 hour, the 5 hour, the 6 hour, the daily, the weekly, etc., 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 so that you've got the stats for all different timeframes. Now, obviously, the algo is nice and easy because you can just change the time frame of the chart. But this data at the moment is fixed to an hour. This week, you should have the session data. So for New York, you'll get the session data. But yes, there will be coming as soon as possible. I want to jump on it as soon as possible. This will be able then to be higher timeframes and potentially even lower timeframes. I am thinking about pushing down the timeframes. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to do it for custom stats. The only problem I have with custom stats is it would need to be, so say for example, like this is built into 6 segments, right? If the time period you pick cannot be broken up into 6 segments, then how does that work? Does it bring up an error? Is it there's not as many candles in one segment? Blah 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 blah. So that's something I'll just need to test and see. As where obviously, for example, if we've got 6 segments in an hour, we've got 10-minute segments. If we go to 2 hours, 20-minute segments, right? And so on and so on. So I'll just have to see when I start building it and see how it goes. Ideally, I want it custom. It'd just be so much easier for you to set which time period you're looking for. And then, it gives you the statistics over that period. So, yeah, absolutely, it will be 100% done. Either some element of it that I've done or as and when we can afford to bring in a developer, they will be doing it because that is huge value, having more of this. Yeah, no worries. I think it should be possible to do it. I'm fairly sure I can do it. We'll see. It might just be that if you do put it to a segment that doesn't fit, that it's just one segment you've got to accept has less candles, which might be like the last segment. But yeah, lots more coming, all included in the current package. It's taken me months, man. Oh, God, I was just banging on top of the rock. Was that dead close to your TP? Oh my God. I mean, at least obviously from a point of view, it's we're putting in this better structure, right? Taking the lows. So, if we're going to have a bearish hour, statistically, it's unlikely it's this low. But obviously, we just now don't want to see this high go. You mean these levels here? What's the statistical probability of price going there? This and this. Or one of the things that I did try to do is a custom level. But I think these two. So yes, what I have on my list is having a statistical level to these. So it tells you what percentage of all the hours hit that level and what percentage of the time all the hours hit that level. I mean, obviously, this is the average, right? And I'll probably change this to be slightly different average. And then this is 50% of that average. So, I would say this is got to be in at least the sort of 70% mark of most hours will hit it. But obviously doing stuff as well. No, they look back. It's based off of recent price action. So, for example, If I go up into the 5 minute, you can see obviously we've got more candles. It goes up to 912. And now this data is based off of all of that data, right? But then also I can then filter to say, just show me last week and this week, or this week only. And now that's just showing me the data, and the average is based on how volume has been over the last week. Obviously, we can go up to show much more time frames and then just filter by day of the week. So on a Monday, here's our statistical probability on a Monday. Yeah, man. Obviously, we can put that into regular trading hours. And now we exclude. So these statistics are only based during New York. And these targets are based on New York, right? So you can see, obviously, the moves are much bigger. Obviously, we'd have to go way further back, I'd say. Collect more data. How far back can we go? Ooh. 190, it looks like it is. So, yeah. And obviously, based on all the New York sessions on a Monday, this is the typical average price moves in an hour. And this is the average price moves in an hour. But I'll probably update this to a trim mean just to get rid of some of those statistics. So again, if we then take that off, this is showing you every day 946 candles just in New York. Gives you the statistics on it. So obviously you can get really accurate with the data. Make sure that what's playing out now matches our overall what we think. Baby, don't you know? Right, guys. That's got to be me. I'm going to get my little lad and start dad duty. I hope everyone has a great trading afternoon. I might try and grab one later on. Obviously, that high statistically is not great for that logo in this hour. Yeah. That gives us our statistical edge, much like this. Same probability. Yeah, 70% probable that low's now in. All right, guys. Have a... Oh, I want to come back up to this 0 line. I just tagged it. Yeah, have a good rest of your trading session. Hopefully, I will see you on again live tomorrow. And I'm going to try and go live nearly every day this week. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you soon.